Hey everybody, it's your boy Serg Dragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me today is Chris Petrie.
Too sweet.
And Andre Mitchell.
Yo.
Today we're going to cover Impact Wrestling on August 4th of 2020. So, we kick off the night with the TNA World Championship title match against Heath versus Moose. In which case, if Heath Slater won, he would not only earn the TNA title, but he would also earn a contract with Impact Wrestling. Due to the ending part of the match, ending with Moose running into the referee in the corner and Heath Slater successfully hitting the wake-up call. It looks like the zigzag, like Dolph Ziggler. And he hits it on Moose and managed to pin him for more than 3 seconds. When the Moose comes back into realizing what's going on, he blows Heath and then calls in the referee and gets the 3 count. Heath Slater loses and does not get a contract with Impact Wrestling. Damn. Your thoughts, Chris?
I knew Deuce was going to cheat a low blow to Heath and to take his false TNA championship belt.
You, Andre?
All right, so far, I guess. I don't know.
Damn. Sucks to be Heath right now, huh?
Yeah.
Willie Mack was interviewed backstage to have his thoughts on what the announcement for Rick Swann would be at the end of the night, and gives a comment to Eric Young, who injured him at Slammiversary, and says that he knows that Eric Young was an OG and one of the people that founded this place, but his action towards his buddy, his bro, his homie, his fam, he's gonna have some words that he can't say on camera. Ooh, woo. What are your thoughts on that, Andre?
Oh, man, that's pretty good.
Oh. You, Chris?
I'm sure Willie Mack will get revenge or EY for injuring his best friend.
Next, we have a promo of EC3 saying that in order for him to actually continue on in the future on Impact Wrestling, something that was his past, he would have to destroy his past, and that would include the TNA World title belt. So by obtaining it, he is going to destroy everything it represents. So he put Moose, and his name, he said by name, Moose, you've been put on notice. Woo! How you feel about that, Andre?
Oh, that was good.
You, Chris?
ECD will always get his hand on Moose and try to get that title away from him.
Now he's got a real contender in EC3, though.
Yep.
Next, we have Jimmy Jacobs interviews the tag team champions of Impact, the Motor City Machine Guns. They say a few things before being interrupted by the North and saying that they didn't beat them at their best. They had been dealing with that title and accepting all challenges for over a year. They're just making up excuses. But otherwise, Motor Machine Guns don't look at them and say that their excuses are not sound, courtesy of their own history defending the titles. And the fact that they say, name the time and place, and we're ready to fight right here and right now. They said, nah, we're going to fight on our terms. And they agreed to it. So we have a future rematch clause already put in motion against the North and the Motor City Machine Guns. When will it happen? They're saying it's going to be in 3 weeks at this new pay-per-view. In which case, I'm trying to see what it is called. I don't remember. Emergence. In 3 weeks at the pay-per-view called Emergence. That's going to be good. Yep. That's what it says. EMERGENCE. Emerge or emergence? I'm trying to go by my pronunciation. It may be failing me, but I think I'm close. Or I'm actually saying the word, I don't realize it. Well, anyway, that show is coming up, and they will defend their titles at that point in time. Your thoughts, Chris?
Boy, see what she got to beat them again, and then they will retain their tag team championships.
You, Andre?
Good so far.
Nice. We have backstage Kimberly talking with Deonna Purrazzo in order to try and give her a deal to deal with Jordynne Grace, who will be defending her title against Jordynne Grace at Emergence. And she says that if I take out Jordynne Grace, I want a shot at your title. And said deal. If you can get rid of her, you got a shot. Your thoughts on that, Andre? You hear me, Andre? Are you watching the show?
Yeah, I hear you.
What do you think about that?
It's all right so far, you know.
You, Chris?
Kimberly is, I know she's going to use those brass knuckles trying to beat Jordynne Grace.
She's been known to use them brass knuckles almost every time.
Yeah.
Next up, we come to the wrestling house. In which case, I don't know what the idea is. Money is involved and something else. Apparently, Kimberly overhears Rosemary saying that the only reason why they are here is because someone can't take a hint, and knowing that it's going towards Johnny Bravo. So she goes to Johnny Bravo in hopes that if he does get the hint, she can go back to the Impact Zone, and rightfully earn her number one contendership against Deonna Purrazzo. So she's kind of being selfish, but at the same time concerned about everyone's well-being of escaping. And Johnny Bravo later on says that he is willing to leave. So how does he leave if the only thing out there was freaking Hellfire and Abyss showing the bag of thumbtacks and exchanging it as a gift? They're like, oh, hell no. Hell no. It then leads to Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie wondering where he is, and they say, where is he? What did you say? She tells them about the hint, and Rosemary flips and says, Tommy! And it's wrestling time. So it's a one-on-one match with Taya Valkyrie as the referee against Rosemary and Kylie Ray. I don't know why they did this. I guess Rosemary was playing the fool, where she plays "Got Your Nose" and say, "What sorcery is this? Give it back!" It's a liar. You lie. Ultimately ending in Rosemary's victory. Wait, nope. Not Rosemary. It was Kylie Ray who won. Because Taya Valkyrie had to counter out. 1, 2, 3. She did. I was like, oh, you did? Girl, I thought you would cheat. I thought she would cheat for Rosemary.
I thought she was going to do a fast count.
Yep. Fun fact, Johnny Bravo made a return. And they had a little talk in the ring between Rosemary and Johnny Bravo. And so, they acknowledge that they have feelings and they're still confused, but it's mostly the reason why he can't act on it is because he knows that he owes Taya Valkyrie a lot and doesn't want her to get jealous and something. So for right now, they're not going to say anything. And Taya Valkyrie just immediately points him out and says, I had to make my own food and make my own coffee. Do you have any idea what that feels like? And it's like, okay. And Rosemary is like, ugh. Your thoughts on that, Chris?
I really have no comment on Johnny Bravo and his idiocy.
What about you, Andre?
All right, so far, I guess.
Another thing happened on the wrestling show would be... I'm trying to remember her name. Alicia Edwards trying to give dating tips to Susie. In which case, Johnny Bravo comes in and just starts trying to woo him with his idiocy. And all it does is gets him in a 2-on-1 handicap match against these two girls. And he ends up losing. What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Johnny Bravo got exactly what he deserved.
You, Andre?
All right, so far.
Next up, we have a bit of a confusion and would probably turn into controversy on account of the fact that the Good Brothers would come to their rented vehicle or their actual vehicle. I don't know if it's rented or not. And they see that the doors are open with beer cans open. And due to the laws of that state, that it's illegal to have beer cans open and not in your hand or turn to or in a bag of some sort. They got to be hidden. So apparently it's all set up by Ace Austin telling them that's their beer. That's their day. You can go back on the tapes and see that this is what they drink. So they're trying to pick a fight and it gets them to have Luke Gallows punching him. And without realizing who's behind him is a police officer. And he's like, I didn't know it was you, sir. I didn't know it was you. The big guy, Luke Gallows is then, or is it Duke Gallows? Doc Gallows now.
Doc Gallows.
Yeah, it's Doc Gallows now. Luke was in WWE. Now he calls himself Doc. He's now officially arrested, leaving Anderson all by himself. The big LG is in the big house right now. Damn. So Ace Austin ends up picking on him and actually ends up having to fight with a 2-on-1 situation in the back with Madman Fulton and Ace Austin. Damn. Hope to see what happens next week, because that's... What are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Too bad Doc Gallows got arrested, and he was set up by Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Same with Corey Anderson. You know he couldn't win the 2-on-1 situation.
Hey, we got Mikey!
I was busy.
Mikey now joining the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I was busy. Had to do some late night chores.
Then let me say it in your honor. If you're ready for Mike Henry to join the podcast, give me a hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it. If you're ready for Mike Henry to join the Heavens Monsters podcast, give me a hell yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so let's catch you up, Mikey. First up, we had some shows on the WWE wrestling show. Yeah, Impact Wrestling. We're not doing Impact Wrestling show where Johnny Swinger gets a 2-on-1 handicap match. Johnny Bravo is in a complicated situation. Kylie Ray wants to be in a number one contendership. Deals are made between Delana Perrazzo and Kimberly. And of course, we have Heath Slater not getting a contract with Impact Wrestling due to the cheating of Moose. What do you want to take on that?
Well, my take is, Rick Miller just keeps saying he's slave, but Miller still wants that contract.
But, and that's another thing. EC3 puts Moose on notice that he's going to take that title and destroy it.
Trouble.
So, next up, we have the blind number one contendership open challenge by Eddie Edwards, and whomever takes the opportunity is first come, first serve. That person would be Sami Callihan, but he's jumped by RVD on stage, and of course, his girl, Katie Forbes, just twerks while he's doing his thing. Even after being jumped, he goes into the match against Eddie Edwards and puts Eddie Edwards through the ringer. But at the end of the match, it would be Eddie Edwards with not one, but two Boston knee parties up on the side of the head of Sami Callihan to get the win. And they look at each other with respect at the end. I think Ken Shamrock is rubbing off on Sami Callihan. You know that?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
Congratulations to Eddie Edwards retaining his championship for a classic match. Too bad he got jumped by RVD and Katie Ford.
Yep. He got jumped at the end of that again.
And my 2 cents is that Callahan and Eddie Edwards, they've had a lot of history. Let's not forget Sami Callihan trying to stick that bat in Eddie Edwards' eye.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget that.
No. And your thoughts, Andre?
All right, so far.
Okay, I'm skimming through this. Oh, this is something else that we covered, Mikey, is when Big LG, well, it says Big LG, he's not Luke Gallows anymore, he's Doc Gallows, gets falsely accused and then accidentally assaults a police officer and is arrested into the big house, leaving Gallows, Carl Anderson all by himself.
Oh my. Once again, Ace Austin is bad. He never played.
Yeah. Next up, we have the tag team match of Chris Bay and Rahit Raju versus TJP and Falaba. With everything going on in Impact Wrestling, as far as the tag team titles are concerned, what really concerns this individual is the fact that no one has gone after the X Division title belt. So now Chris Bay is just frolicking around with nothing to worry about. He got a chip on his shoulder. So in this match, he was looking to get the win and continue his cockiness, but TJP actually pulled a schoolboy on him and won the match for his tag team partner and himself, Falaba. And with that in mind, now he looks bad. He is humiliated knowing that he got pinned in the middle of the ring, knowing that his title is now locked eyes with TJP. Your thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah. TJP gonna make himself a number one contender for Chris Bay championship.
Before anybody else gets to comment, I want to point out that apparently TJP's Twitter is Mega TJP.
Mega?
At Mega TJP. Ain't that a quick? Like Dashing Chris Bay is Chris Bay's Twitter account. Ain't that shit? So get your thoughts. Andre, what do you think about this?
It's okay so far, I guess.
You enjoy Chris Bay or do you like TJP?
I guess Chris Bay, I guess.
What about you, Mikey?
TJP got the job done.
Now we come to the end of the show, and boy, is it sad.
I know Rich Swann announced his retirement.
Yep, long story short. He says some words about his first recovery, and then what happens with during Slammiversary, he may not be able to walk again.
Oh my God.
Basically is what he was saying with his leg. So he had to think about his life, his future, and his family, and he had to retire. And everybody in the back who respected Rick Swann came and slapped the ring all around him, giving props to him in his 16 years of being in the business. They helped him out of the ring, and he walked by himself to the stage only to get jumped by Eric Young, and he assaults that leg again, and everybody is just wondering, why is Eric Young going to these lengths to attack Rick Swann? He's proven. He's already put him on the shelf. He put him in retirement. Why? Yeah, go ahead, Mikey.
First of all, let me just sit on the record. Eric Young, who the hell do you think you are?
The psychopath.
You first came back after a long absence. You spent time at WWE, and now you came back to Impact, and what did you do? You had the audacity of screwing up Rich Swann.
Oh, yeah.
You've gone too far, you son of a bitch.
With that said, is now wondering what's going to happen next. Chris, what is your thoughts on what happened with Rick Swann and Eric Young?
It's sad. Rick Swann had to retire because of the EY Eric Young ruined his career and his comeback. And now Rick Swann is out. So you have to wonder who is next.
Mm-hmm.
Maniac.
Douchebag.
Lunatic.
Your thoughts, Andre?
That's messed up how Rich Swann had to retire. I wish he was still in the ring, but oh well.
We never know. He might pull a surprise on us.
Yeah.
That's hoping. All right. Anything I missed, Chris? Mikey?
I don't think you did.
So you ready to end this podcast?
Yep.
Let's do this.
All right. First up, a shout out to our fellow brethren of the Heavens and Monsters podcast, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube channels will be in descriptions down below, as always. And a remaining shout out to Chris Petrie, T-Money, Renee, Farrell, and Delvin. You like this video? Give it a thumbs up. You didn't? Give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Heavens Monsters podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, wait. Mikey? Say your one-liner.
And that's the bottom line, because the Heavens Monsters podcast crew says so.
Yeah, buddy.